Robin Slim Show.
Hey, yo, what's up, Robin Slim? How you doing? This is Kenny.
What's going on, Kenny? Just give us a moment. We're just sitting down, getting some beers and stuff like that, and we'll be with you. All right, man?
Oh, sweet. Can I have a beer?
Yeah, I'll try to, get one through the internet to you.
Kenny!
Yeah.
Before I what's that?
Just fax one to me.
Yeah, I'll fax you a beer.
Before I butcher it, your last name, is it pronounced Lou?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, I thought so. Kenny Leu, you're an actor. You're from LA. You've been doing some big things, man. Big things.
Yeah, man. I've been very, very blessed. Very blessed.
That's amazing.
Cool.
I read that you were born in Taiwan, but you grew up in the Bay Area. Was it difficult growing up, being from Taiwan?
It was all right growing up. My upbringing actually was very diverse. So it was pretty interesting. Growing up in the Bay Area, everybody's kind of used to seeing people of color everywhere.
Okay, yeah, well, I grew up in North Jersey, 10 minutes from New York City. I still remember my friend Casey. He was from, I think he was from Taiwan. Was it Taiwan or one? Yeah, I think it was Taiwan. And I remember his whole family they would just walk together just to 7-Eleven to get milk, the grandmother, and we'd be like, "What's going on, dude? Why you guys doing it?" He's like, "That's just what we do." All his siblings, and they would just all walk together.
That's cool.
He was one of my best friends, though. He's so cool, so cool. But yeah,
that's awesome.
I remember he said they always did things together, and I remember we'd always hang out at his house. And they would always. That's why I didn't know if language was a problem, because he didn't have any problems, but his whole family spoke Taiwanese.
That's awesome. Did he grow up in Taiwan and then move to North Jersey, or was he born in the U.S.?
I think he was born over there, but just like you, came over as a baby. So I guess he had learned English in school, and he assimilated and all that. But I remember his dad was not there a lot of years. He would be there, he would come and visit, but I think he was also taking care of his parents over in Taiwan, so he'd go back and forth all the time.
Oh, are you for real? Dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if you had any similar situation like that or anything like that, because
No. My parents came over here when they were in graduate school.
Oh, okay.
They studied tech and came over to the United States, basically, wanting to live a better life. And yeah, although I was born there, my big sister was born in the United States. My mom just wanted me to be born in the motherland, and so she went back.
Oh, they went back just
me. Yeah, and it's crazy too, because then
Wow.
in Taiwan, there's this whole deal with China, and they don't really like each other, and so Taiwan still has this thing where if you're born in Taiwan, you're a Taiwanese citizen, you turn 18. You got to serve in the military.
Okay.
And I narrowly avoided that because I was in school here at the time, and they came to my grandma's house looking for me, and my grandma was like, "He's not here."
Wow! Oh my God! Wow! Wow! But I saw you studied Wushu, which is Chinese martial arts, correct?
Yeah, that's right, man.
How does that differ from the other arts?
Well, Wushu and Chinese martial arts differ from most other martial arts in the sense that it's very acrobatic, it's very cinematic, it's very expressive. The style that I did, there's no combat, but then it's like the floor routine of gymnastics where there's a lot of flips you have to do. You have to stick these landings. You get a 0 through 10 score at the end of your routine. And it basically evolved from when soldiers would have to basically show off for their superiors or their general, how good their martial arts abilities are by the way that they move, rather than actually fighting anybody.
Wow.
So it was it's a very performance based art, but incredibly I've never been in better condition than when I was competing for that sport, even though I played basketball, football, soccer, and stuff when I was in school.
Do they have a belt class like other martial arts?
No. I don't know if it's a result of the sport not being very organized, but there's no belts at all. The only way that if somebody's good, our equivalent of a black belt, is if you've heard that person's name before, like in the competitive circuit. Like, oh shoot, he's blah 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 from Oregon, or shoot, he's from blah 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 from North Jersey, or something. And yeah, it's pretty cool because you feel like a badass walking around to the tournaments and stuff.
Have you ever used it in real life or in your acting?
Man, definitely in my acting. In real life, it's like I'm in such good condition that general people don't mess with you.
Right.
That's good. That's the way to be.
You also pick up the other. What's up?
I said that's the way to be. Yeah, you don't want to be.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best way to be. You don't want to really fight anybody.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's kind of in a way, it's kind of like the ballet of martial arts. Like the movements that you do for Wushu are so complex and so outstretched and so like dynamic that picking up another martial art like boxing or kickboxing, which is kind of what I do now, was very quick to pick up.
Cool.
So your fundamentals are totally there. You know how to use your hips, you know how to use your waist, you know how to use your legs, and like it's bizarre to kind of explain, but yeah, it's like a fundamental art that helps translate into other martial arts, and especially on screen. Like almost everybody that I was competitive with when I was still competing in that sport, I would say 75% of the people are now stunt people or people that are actors now. It's such a natural transition, or stunt coordinators, that kind of stuff.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's really cool.
Interesting. Yeah.
Wow. And I saw too. It said you originally went to school for what was it? Mechanical engineering.
Yep, that's right.
So, what made you go into acting? Like, had you always wanted to be an actor? Like, was it a scary leap going from working in that field to acting? Like, how did that go down?
Yeah, that's a really good question because I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna just drop because I had a successful career in engineering prior to even doing acting.
I saw that you had a startup and you sold it successfully. Like you did really good.
Yeah, man, it's been a wild ride. But yeah, I discovered acting kind of when I was in middle school. It was like one of the first things that I had really discovered that I had talent for. I was being cast as a lead in about 10 plays by the time I had finished middle school. Oh, and then like high school comes around and like I realized that I had to be serious about life. And on top of that, like something that I think probably had a play in it was I realized that I'm this Asian kid that just doesn't belong on TV. Like I don't see anybody who's like me being on the screen or being in movies. And so I was like, and it was a very easy decision for me back then. I was just like, okay, so that doesn't make any sense, so I should just stop doing it. And so I didn't act again until well after I graduated from engineering school. Wow. And I was like really bored on the weekends. I felt kind of unfulfilled creatively. And so I went to Craigslist and decided to audition for like one of the projects on there, and I got it. and there's this dude who was like this acting coach on set, who was like, man, I think you got some talent. Like I want to help manage you and see if you'd be interested in doing this for real. And dude, like he was so generous. I went to his house like once a week for about 2 or 3 years, just working one-on-one on acting. And he helped me get rep by one of the best agencies in the SF Bay Area.
Wow.
And then like once they had somebody believe in me, then I was like, you know what, maybe I can continue doing this like as a hobby or like a side job or something.
Yeah.
So I did that. And I did that for a few years in the Bay. And then my company got sold. Suddenly I had like, some money saved up to basically go, damn, I'm like 27 or 28. I'm still single. I don't need to really do a 9-to-5 job anymore.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I was like, let's go do acting and see what that's really like. And that was about 4 years ago now.
Wow. I saw you were in NCIS. You were in, is it upcoming, the Dragon Ball Z movie?
Yeah, dude. I didn't say yes. Dragon Ball's coming out really soon.
As future Gohan. What's that?
Oh, Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. So as you know, Dragon Ball Z is a very popular anime, Japanese anime.
Yeah.
And it's a group of friends of mine, and I decided to do a live action adaptation of it just for YouTube. These guys are very talented filmmakers who saw that, you know, Hollywood's trying to move on from comic books and go into adapting live action anime, but they're not doing it right. You know, they haven't been doing it well. Ghost in the Shell flopped. Akira is not off the ground yet.
Wow.
Cowboy Bebop is not off the ground yet. Death Note failed too, and so they were like, man, these guys even know how to do it right, and so they decided to do it themselves. And our first episode has 28 million views and counting. And the next episode is coming out November 14th. So, yeah, so it's going to be debuted to like a lot of fanfare and a lot of these anime fans who were like, man, Hollywood's just doing us wrong, but thank you for doing it right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I'm curious because I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, and you said he plays Future Go. You play Future Gohan.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's correct. We're doing the history of Trunks' timeline.
Okay, awesome.
Where everybody's dead, except for Future Gohan, Trunks, Bulma. So it's a very gritty timeline.
Yeah,
which is what we liked. Yeah,
I was gonna say that's a great like saga to adapt. That's amazing.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. We thought about that very carefully.
Wow.
And I'm really excited about that release because we already get invited to a bunch of Comic Cons, anime cons, and being able to meet people and like, you know, just giving these guys a face too, because they've felt misrepresented for so long, and having that one movie that I won't name because it's really bad.
I know.
They tried adapting like another Dragon Ball movie previously. It was so bad. It was like almost like a joke because they just butchered like everything.
Wow.
All the characters, the story, what each character meant, like everything. So everybody feels like they've been done wrong, and that's almost 10 years ago now.
Yeah, that's why when I first saw your resume, I didn't know if you were in that one, but then I read that it's coming out soon. Which even if you were in that one, it still would have been something you did. It still would have been great. But like I was relieved to see it wasn't that one, Kenny.
Right. I know, huh? I'm so glad you're a Dragon Ball Z fan too. Like, it's crazy. Like, when I was growing up, I thought it was like this Asian thing that I like. You know, only Asian people knew what it was because it's like Japanese, and I would go like in college. I'd just hide in my room and watch anime sometimes, and not tell anybody because it was like this. It felt like a little like my guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
And then I went to all these cons. I saw the huge amount of diversity, like people like from all backgrounds. Doesn't matter your age, what continent you're from. There are like huge fans for Dragon Ball, and
so
it is insane.
So good. I don't want to, before we get any farther, like, you know, before we run out of any more time, I saw last night the Long Road Home on National Geographic, and dude, it was amazing. And you play who is it? What's your character? Eddie Chan?
Yeah, Eddie Chan. Yeah. And
this is based on a group of real U.S. soldiers that was abducted in Baghdad.
Yeah. Basically, these 19 guys get pinned down by about 10,000 insurgents during the Iraq War. It was basically what made the Iraq War violent. That event,
like one of the startups. Wow.
Yeah, and so it's based on a true story. What really makes the story special is that, you know, we have all the vets like who survived came back to give us their blessing before we even started shooting this thing. We kept several of them on retainer as tech advisors to make sure that, you know, everything was accurate, and like the city that we built, like these 200 buildings that our guys had built to simulate Sadr City, Iraq, on a military base in Texas. Made sure that was all accurate and that kind of stuff. it just feels really good to be able to be a part of that, because a lot of the vets, I've come to learn, feel very misrepresented by TV and media,
Hollywood.
because they feel like, you know, their experiences and their traumas have been exploited for the sake of money, you know, and to sell tickets. And they hate the idea of, you know, us glorifying like war. But then this one kind of tells a very human story about, like, you know, what's it like to go to war, like leaving your kids behind, your newborns behind, like your new wife behind.
Dude, the opening scene, I think it's I think it's the Middle Eastern soldier, and his son is telling him he hopes he dies over there. It's like, wow. Wow.
Yeah, dude, it's so insane. Like, that's another element too that I really liked when I first read the script. I was like, please tell me, like, the other side of it too, like what's it like to be an Iraqi interpreter on that platoon, and we see all of that. You'll get to see the whole story from his perspective on episode 4, and I'm really stoked to see that.
Yeah, I was so glad you told me to make sure I watched both episodes last night, because I would have just thought it was the one. And yeah, that was, wow, they were great. I was gonna say too, and then the one scene when you just see the American soldiers, I think they're just hanging out, smoking and stuff, and the one guy's like, "Do you think you could?" One of your guys was giving sunglasses to one of the Iraqi children, and the one soldier's like, "Could you kill a kid if you had to? If they were shooting at you?" And it was just like, wow, that is like, that's something you have to consider. Like, that's what I felt. It was really accurate, like really accurate.
Yeah. And like, what was so special about what NatGeo did was, you know, they were like, they wanted to, Miko Alon, who's the showrunner, was preparing to, you know, like, was trying to get this show off the ground, and National Geographic came up to him, and he was like, and then they were like, "Yo, dude, like, we don't want you to change anything. Like, we don't want you to poo-poo anything. We don't want you to lie or politicize anything and make this show seem like it's like go U.S. military. No, we want you to present everything honestly. You know, like we've got some bad eggs in the military platoon. All the conversations that happen about, like, you know, some of the military guys are like gung ho about, you know, wanting to kill people, and it's just insane for NatGeo to be like, yo, like, we want you to talk about all of that, you know? Just be honest.
Wow. Did you meet any of the real soldiers, like, besides the ones you met? Did you meet any of the soldiers that were in this situation?
Yes. Well, as I said, my first week there was a reunion, and about 20-something vets came from all over the world to give us their blessing before we started shooting this thing.
Wow.
And several of them, the only reason why they came back was because they were promised by Miko that, you know, we were going to tell the story honestly, we were going to glorify it, and we were going to show what war really is like, that there are all these really awful decisions that they had to make out there, and we're going to show all of it. We're not going to fluff it, or we're not going to poo-poo it at all.
Wow.
And yeah, dude, like, and me as being the only Asian American soldier in this platoon, and spoiler alert, Eddie Chen dies.
I got really sad, bro. I got really sad. I was trying to, like, I went in the kitchen, and I'm like, let me make a sandwich so I don't cry. Like, let me just make a sandwich. That's a manly thing to do.
A happy sandwich.
Yeah.
This sandwich will cure my depression.
It was really sad, bro. It was really sad.
Yeah.
They're trying to save you.
But as soon as, what was nuts was that, like, dude, as soon as I walked into that reunion, and me being the only Asian soldier, like, they immediately knew who I was. And dude, like, as soon as, like, I made eye contact with some of these vets, like, tears just burst from their eyes.
Oh, wow.
Like, they were,
man.
Yeah, man. It was, I've never felt anything like that before, where they would like have to walk away for a second. They're just like, man, you're playing Eddie, huh? And I'm like, yeah, I'm playing Eddie. And they would just, like, tears. And they would just say, we wish we could have done more for him, man.
Wow.
He was one of the best guys we knew.
Oh,
yeah, and then they would, like, roll up their sleeves, and they've got, like, this bracelet that says "Rest in Peace, Sergeant Eddie Chen" on it. Still, 13 years later.
Wow.
Did that make it harder for you to play that character?
Yeah. For me, dude, like, I when I get struck in the face with stuff like that, like for some reason I'm all in.
Yeah.
Right. For some reason, it doesn't faze me. I feel the pressure, but then for some reason that feeds me more than makes me go, oh crap, here we go.
I feel like it would feed you. It would kind of be like an honor.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's totally an honor, and it really made things serious for me, because I had no idea what I was getting into when I first booked this job. I thought it was like this little thing.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I met like all these guys and how much this story would mean to these guys, like then I was like, holy crap, like here we go. I am all in, dudes. Like I'm here. I'm gonna give you my 110%.
Right, you're gonna make them proud. Like.
Yeah, exactly. How long of a series is it, Kenny? Is it like a mini series, or is it gonna run several seasons?
It's a TV miniseries in the same vein as Band of Brothers. One of our directors is the same as Band of Brothers. Casting director is the same, so it's very similar. It's
okay.
It's 8 episodes, and I doubt that there's going to be another season because unless they find a completely new story to tell.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was telling Slim earlier too, like I don't know if it was a commercial or what during the episode, it said that National Geographic was allowed to go over, I think for like 10 weeks with the US military and like, I guess like just accompany them in what they were doing, like so they could get an accurate portrayal and all that. Yeah.
The military the Army was very generous in giving us like Humvees, Abram tanks, and like we all got military housing. You know, each cast member got our own house, actually a 3-bedroom house.
Wow.
We were out there for about 3 or 4 months. And yeah, they gave us so much.
Wow.
To be able to shoot this thing.
That's cool.
Like a whole huge space to build Solder City on in Fort Hood, Texas.
Yeah, that's so cool. I didn't realize that it was on an actual base. It wasn't on a Hollywood set. It was on a base.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing was a base. We were all in Texas, you know.
Wow. Did you guys really like that one scene where when I think you had gotten shot and they drove through, like it was just a bunch of debris that was on fire? Did you really do that, or were there stuntmen, or was it just like?
You're the first one to ask that question, actually. So I'm really happy you did.
Cool.
Yeah, that was real.
Wow, dude, they drove through. It was like kind of like just a burning bunch of debris right in the road, and they just like crashed through.
Oh, it's
dude,
awesome.
It was all on fire and just crazy.
That must have been like an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah, we were like, I think this is the story. I think we were like all set, and we've been out there for a couple months at that point, so we were kind of used to seeing like stuff burning and stuff. Yeah. But then this one day, right before lunch, we saw like our special effects guys, who did such an amazing job on this thing, by the way. They were lighting up like this wall, and they just lit up like this wall of fire right before lunch. And then me and like EJ, who plays my commanding officer, Aguero, and we were just looking at each other. We were like, what are they doing? Like, what is that for? And then like they just lit it up like hella high. It was like this big wall of fire. And we were like, oh crap, what's gonna happen now? And then the director was like, all right, let's break for lunch. So we had to go to lunch. Left wondering like what the hell all that thing was for. And then when we came back, he was like, all right, you guys are gonna have to drive through that.
Oh my god. No.
I'm the only one up there on the top, right? So my face is like gonna get like soot in the face, and like, you know, because everybody else is inside. And that's why if you see that scene again, like I'm covered in like ash.
Yes.
Like, I basically become like really dark skinned, and like everybody else is inside still looking pristine.
Oh my god, Kenny, we have come to the end, but thank you so much, dude. It's great talking to you, man.
Yeah, that was so quick. It was a real pleasure for me to be on here too.
Dude, it was great. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me on social media, man. I'm mostly on my Instagram or my Twitter. The handle is the Kenny Leu, spelled Leu.
Awesome, dude. Cool, thank you so much, Kenny.
Thank you, guys. It was a real pleasure.
It was. Same here. Have a good one.
All right, take care, guys.
You too, brother.
Later, man.
All right. Later.